Hello and welcome everyone to the tutorial series of Mastering Arduino from Beginner to Core Advanced. We are here in module 3 and today we are going to discuss about a simple DC motor, its working, its diagram and how to connect it with Arduino to get the motion. Okay, first of all about the DC motor, I want to tell you that DC motor is the most simple type of motor you have seen because this motor is a very small device. It can be found in toys as you have seen here the photo. This motor has been taken outside of the toy. And here the DC motor, you can see that in the video, is the big motor. They both have different design, but the thing is they both run on the same principle. When the power is sent in one direction, it will rotate in clockwise, and when the direction of the power is changed, it will run in anti-clockwise. First of all, the DC motor cannot be connected directly to Arduino. It requires a specific driver or a transistor to run it, because if we connect the DC motor directly to Arduino, it will draw a lot of power that can eventually burn the Arduino. Sometimes the laptop also can get harmed because of this. So to control a DC motor, we need a driver or a transistor setup to run it. Okay, let's just see about the DC motor. Here you can see the working principle of a DC motor. In a DC motor, here outside the body there are two magnets such as North Pole and South Pole. Okay, and inside it here is the coil. Whenever the charge is passed across the coil or the contacts of the motor, here you can see these are the brushes or the contacts, and this is part is called the commutator. Commutator is a copper ring that is divided into two parts. Whenever the current is passed here, it will force the motor to it will force the wire of the coil to go into one direction. This is because of the right hand rule of the motor that was driven that was given by Fleming. Okay, this is known as Fleming's right thumb rule. You can see here, let me make a correction for you. This is the right thumb rule. All three fingers are in another directions. Okay, let's just see it in small working. Here you can see that whenever a charge is passed, the motor will rotate in one direction, and when it comes in the middle point here, so the contactors change its direction, and this works as a mechanical rectifier for the DC motor to continue its motion in one direction. Important part, the split ring is a copper ring that is divided into two or more parts. This is the main reason for the motion of the motor in one direction, because when it comes here at the 90-degree, it automatically changes its poles in the mechanical rectifier form, and this will give the motor a continuous motion in any specific direction as the current has been flown to that direction. The direction of the motor can be changed. If we give here minus charge and it will be giving here plus charge, then it will automatically change the direction from here to here. Okay, now let's just see about how to connect a motor to the Arduino. Here you can see that it is running on the left thumb rule. Here I have shown you it is running on the left thumb rule. Here this will be causing the direction of the motor. Okay, let's just see about the drivers. Here you can see that this is the driver that will be using here for running a motor. Okay, here you can see that the diagram that is connected. Here is the schematic of an Arduino and a running motor with the help of a 12-volt outside source. Here you can see that when the transistor is connected, that is an NPN transistor. And about the wiring, first of all, to activate a transistor, as I have told you, you should have to give it value digital high. Digital write that pin number and should be given a value of high. It will make these two transistor to go up, and it will eventually connect these two circuits, giving it a closed loop, and that closed loop will be taking the power source from the 12-volt battery and giving the motor a specific running output. So by this method we are operating the motor with a 12-volt output, but the control of the motor is done by the Arduino, and the interface between them is the transistor, because the transistor controls the power direction, or you can say that it is like a valve and power is running like a water. So the transistor controls the water from the transistor controls the direction of the current or the flow of the current to give the motor rotation. But the main problem of this method is the motor can run in only one direction, and for running the motor in two direction you have to change the polarity of the motors. Okay, and this was the description of the DC motor. If you want to see, I will be giving you the diagrams. Here is the diagram, and here is the transistor connection, and this side will be connected to Arduino, and this side will be connected to the power supply as we required, and this here is the motor. These are the terminals of the motors. Okay, and these are the basic theory of the running a motor. Well, I think this method is quite useful for running heavy appliances also, but for that we will be talking in the last section or in the 10th module about running heavy motors by this method. Okay, if you have any comment, just please write down, and if you have any comments, please write down, and thanks for watching.